I'm Chris, I'm the COO at Synhero. Essentially, we are rethinking this piece of paper. So this is something that's been around since the Stone Age. It's analog. This data is valuable not just for banks, but also for end consumers. We're up and running in Finland for the last 3 years. We have over 3,000 merchants on the platform. We've integrated with SEB, so Eurocard portfolio, as well as Nordia's first card portfolio. Last year we partnered with Visa and MasterCard, 2 strategic partners now for our European expansion. Visa has made clear that they would like us to roll out the service in the UK, and given their blessing, we're more than happy to do so. So that's sort of our anchoring for the UK market. We work with cash register systems, so technically we integrate into the cash register, we integrate into payment terminals and card schemes, and we sit in the middle. We are the glue to create digital receipts, and then they get distributed into corporate bank apps, accounting software, and consumer propositions. The UK's quite favourable for us, not just for the Visa angle. I'm leading the European expansion. I'm British, sadly, and this market makes sense for us. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. We're hitting scale now, we believe. We're able to onboard merchants a lot quicker than some of our competitors. And we're now going into sort of an aggressive monetization stage with not just merchants, but also with the bank partners we have. So for the UK, we're looking for more bank partners, more fintechs to work with, any integrations into cash register systems. We're more than happy to take this one.
Short and swift. Yeah, Yusuf, you have been tracking them already.
Yeah, indeed, yes. I know Synhero, so I know Joel as well. And we always say that whoever cracks sort of the data that's locked, the SKU level data that's locked in receipts, will be the Google of fintech, because that's very valuable data. And if you can standardize it, unlock it, but that data obviously sits with the merchant, and the merchant is A, fragmented, and B, very reluctant to share its data. So how do you tackle the fragmentation and the reluctance that merchants have?
Yeah. So in terms of getting the data, we found a scalable model to actually work on a commercial sense with cash register partners. So just to a broad strokes amount of merchants, it's not that they don't want to relinquish it, but they just don't know how to. So they're not a technology company, they're not understanding how to remove that data from the cash register. So we've kind of got a way that we make it super easy for the merchant to unlock that. We've gone through the rigors of PCI DSS compliance. We've gone through sort of the full GDPR sort of ecosystem sort of building. We make sure that the merchant feels really comfortable providing us the data. So we sort of judge, jury, and execution when it comes to how that data is being used. If a bank wants to use that data in a way that we haven't prescribed to originally, we'll go back to our merchants and say, banks looking at doing this, is this acceptable? If not, then we go back to the bank and say no. So we're sort of the ring fencing when it comes to that data.
Last question.
Yeah.
What kind of scale do you need? Do you have to work with all the banks to make it market viable, or can you pick and select?
Yeah, so there's a classic chicken and egg scenario in this industry. What we've done in Finland is that not all banks are on the platform, so we've actually rolled out our own consumer proposition. That's sort of a short-term gap, primarily because we want all the banks to sort of participate. But if you go to a merchant and say you haven't got all the banks, they're going to go, oh, come back when you do. So the idea there is that it's sort of to provide a wedge between the rest of the market, and so far it's actually been quite successful. So we're actually seeing merchants advertise the application in store now, and we're seeing thousands of users coming into our consumer app now and enrolling their own cards. So.
Great.
So, sorry, is the business then based on consumers using or transactions underlying, or is it this SaaS model of you deliver?
Issuers enroll cards to the system. We then match those cards transactions with the receipt data coming from the merchant, and then we distribute that back to the channel that's given the consent. So it could be a corporate issuer, sort of on the expense management, could be a consumer bank, could be a loyalty platform that merchants pushing. So we're open. We really want to work with everyone, to be honest.
Time's up.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, next one. From Sweden, but a fully international team. Romel, Earth Bank.
Hi there. So